How to know God is speaking to you. Now, majority of us sometimes we genuinely find it very difficult to recognize the voice of God, and this is because we have failed to obey simple instructions that God has been giving to us. When God is giving you small instructions, it's because God wants to understand and get used to his voice. So yes, if God wants you to sharpen in the dimension of understanding his voice, then God will begin to give you little instructions. It begins with keep that water, do not take that road, do not walk that path, do not sleep in that room. These little instructions will help you gain mastery to the voice of God. So if you want to understand how God speaks, they must learn to obey little instructions that you know is coming from God, that you have the witness in your spirit that is coming from God. Secondly, God's voice is too brilliant, too reasonable than your human thought. I don't know if that makes sense to you. What am I trying to say? Whenever God speaks, the explanations are clear. Whenever God speaks, the understanding is explicit. Whenever God speaks, you just know that this one is not just my thinking, it is just too unique to be my thinking. So when you're having that kind of dimension of experience, where you are having like call it revelations, and something in your spirit is witnessing that this revelation is just too unique, it's just too not me, then that is God speaking to you. Lastly, you must get familiar with the fact that God can genuinely speak to you like the thoughts of your heart. Majority of us have this thing in our spirit that we want God to speak to us, but we want it to come in the ancient landmark. Oh, my son, here comes the Lord. It does not always work like that. Sometimes you will never hear my son, here comes the Lord. It could just be God, like speaking to you in just a normal way. Sometimes it could even be random thoughts, and you're like, is it God? Yes, it is God. Because first of all, what you need to check is, at that particular time, is it possible for you to be thinking of that particular thing? If it is not possible for you to be thinking of that particular thing in that particular time, then you need to know that that is God. Also, you need to understand that God cannot compel you. God will only speak to you, and you will feel the suggestive ability inside of you. There is something about you that just witness that this is God. The moment that voice is compelling you and bringing negative circumstances to surround the voice, like if you don't obey, you might die. What if you don't do this thing now? You might fall sick. What if you don't do it? You might have accident. That can never be God. God does not impute fear, because the spirit of fear is definitely not of God. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more prophetic insight.